JJK 3x12, aka Sendai Colony, has not only become the highest rated episode of the show, but a top 10 highest IMDb rated episode in TV history, at least as of right now. You see, for me, Yuta vs Sendai Colony was already perfect shonen manga, but now I think it's perfect shonen anime too. I'm actually itching to get on with this deep dive, but first I want to quickly remind you that, as promised, I've put mine and Orion's reaction to the episode at the end of this video, so make sure to check that out later. And also, this video is safe for anime onlys, no manga spoilers here. Nice, with that out the way, I'm just gonna dive straight into it. Right then, so Sendai Colony is a cool fight, sure, but it's ultimately a clash of ideologies. The entire event is the personification of Jujutsu Kaisen's most prevalent themes of strength, isolation, and how you should choose to live your life. Yuta, a character driven by the value of his relationships who has no desire to fight for selfish gain, directly opposes Takako Uro's Heian era mentality, where the value of relationships is forfeited in favor of said selfish gain. She has the mentality of a pure monster, where you just throw everything away to reach your own ideals. However, Ryu Ishigori is kind of a middle ground between Yuta and Uro. Back in his age, he made a name for himself before settling down to live a complete and happy life with his loving wife, and yet he still felt unsatisfied. In fact, his desire for someone to finally give him the fight that no one in his lifetime ever could was so strong that it reached Yuta Okkotsu on an emotional level. And in the words of the narrator, though he'd probably never find meaning in fighting, Ishigori's gaze melted Yuta Okkotsu's heart. The line "just this once" from Okkotsu gave me actual chills when I read it in the manga, but seeing him say it in that one-to-one adaptation with the music and the pink color of his laser and just all of it, oh, absolute cinema. But what does that line actually mean? Why is it so peak? Why does it hit that hard? Well, it's because Yuta actually had no intention of beam clashing Ryu in that moment. He was going to fire a much less charged up blast before Ryu could release his to catch him off guard, which probably would have worked. But Ryu's longing stare is the only reason that Okkotsu changed his mind and committed to fully charging his beam, even though he knew he would probably lose the actual struggle. The more and more Yuta pounded him after that point though, the more and more the dessert got eaten, which was such a dope visual for the anime to add here, because it literally shows Ryu's unsatisfaction being satisfied. Is unsatisfaction I don't think unsatisfaction's a word. Dissatisfaction? It made Ryu happy, that's the point. And speaking of the anime's adaptation, I didn't realize until watching this that Aizo was pretty much written for Sendai Colony, and it was the perfect song to play here. When the beginning of it just crept in leading up to their clash, and then the beat dropped for the beam struggle, oh, absolute chills. I mean, think about it, yeah? Love me, kill me, hate me. These lyrics literally represent the three main players in Sendai Colony. Love me for Yuta, kill me for Ryu, hate me for Uro. You could probably make arguments for switching some of them around a bit, but it ultimately comes down to your interpretation. Either way, it's peak. Like I said before, the Sendai fight is a deadlock of ideologies, with all of them having an element of truth to them, but only one of them being the ultimately right path to take. A few manga readers have criticized this because apparently Yuta remains unaffected by Uro's influence and the sorcerer ideologies explored throughout this fight, which really isn't the case, but I can't elaborate on that because spoilers. Actually, it's not just spoilers, I simply don't have time to go into a massive deep dive analysis of the story, especially since I already have a 30-minute video on it, so check that out if you want a much deeper breakdown of this fight. Narratively wise, this video is pretty much just scratched the surface, but even then I think it clears up that saying Sendai has no writing or themes at all is just wrong. Although I will concede that a lot of the deeper themes in Sendai and JJK as a whole, to be fair, aren't always going to be written in a way that suits everyone's taste. It's quite a niche writing style. Bit similar to Bleach, to be honest. Gege really does not like to hold your hand through the deeper stuff, which is why JJK often gets called out for having no story or writing. Sure, that's a bit, over the top, but I understand the principle. The writing and themes are there, it's just not as visible to a casual viewer who takes things at face value. That's valid though, I'm not trying to say there's anything wrong with that. If JJK isn't your kind of story because you don't want to be a nerd like me who just obsessively pores over the source material, then I can't blame you, But that doesn't mean the writing doesn't exist at all. Anyway, this is meant to be a review of how the anime adapted the manga and not a fat over analysis of the writing, so I'm gonna quit my yapping on that for now. Long story short, themes and such, Right, with that cleared up, I can now finally start frantically rambling about everything Mappa did to make this a truly 10 out of 10 adaptation. Normally, I feel like I can pinpoint the best parts of an episode on a specific member of the staff. Oh, Neon 41 sequence was awesome. Fujimoto's character acting looked incredible. Goso cinema, etc, etc. For Sendai though, I just can't do that because unlike every other episode, this one had a properly like, this was truly our Sendai Colony type staff list, where there was like 7 episode directors, a bunch of animation directors, and 2 goated storyboarders, one of which was Goso himself and the other was Miso, the man behind Jogo vs Sukuna. Such a messy staff list had people a bit worried about the state of this episode's production, and where I do agree that, similar to Sukuna vs Maharaga, there were some moments that seem unfinished, overall, this team of goats raised the bar yet again when it came to elevating the 7 and a bit chapters of the manga that were actually adapted. Let's start at the beginning with Yuta vs Kuroroushi as an example, okay? Even just their initial hand-to-hand fight and chase scene was genuinely insane, despite it being a lot more accurate to the manga than all the stuff that came after. The absence of music while Yuta just put the moves on Kuroroushi in these crazy dynamic quick cuts really lets you process every second of what's going on while keeping it very fast-paced. Eventually, Yuta runs from the huge wave of cockroaches, and that's when we get his insane parkour one-shot scene. Now, I love the way the camera follows him all the way around the 3D buildings. It creates a really great sense of speed and momentum, akin to the ODM gear sequences you'd see in Attack on Titan. Yeah, sure, Yutapon and Sakuga-style high-speed movement looks dope when done correctly, like in the Maki episode, but I've always had a bit of a soft spot for when animation can achieve such a sense of speed without sacrificing the integrity of the drawings. I think both this episode and a lot of Attack on Titan are very good examples of this. Me personally, I also don't think it's an issue to achieve such things by employing tools such as 3D CG and rotoscoping. No, I'm not saying anything in this episode has been rotoscoped, alright, chill. I'm only saying that this season as a whole has been confirmed to contain a lot of rotoscoping and 3D models, which some people just look down on for whatever weird reason. I mean, if it works and it looks good, then by all means, like, keep doing what you're doing, you know? The manga version of Yuta vs Kuroroushi also has so many amazing combat panels which often get overlooked in this fight. Partially because TikTok just loves to make up stuff about Yuta being trash without Rika, and there's a whole army of JJK LARPers out there. The anime seems to have finally put that silly LARPer joke to rest though, because it took those moments, such as Yuta's cursed energy slash and him lighting up a cockroach tornado with cursed energy, and somehow made them look even more impressive, not to mention visually stunning. Even Kuroroushi himself got a crazy anime upscale. Bro was already terrifying in the manga, like I totally get why Uro didn't want to go near all that, but his cockroach swarm was still relatively contained compared to the totally overwhelming tidal wave that they show in the anime. I mean, bro was moving like Jogo, spreading his wave of cockroaches across 2 whole apartment blocks before creating giant insect-like arms in the sky, and instead of just the one tornado, the anime gave him 2 much bigger, scarier tornadoes. Now, all of this is obviously great for Kurorushi's PR. I mean, I did not think I'd see as much Kuroroushi love on the timeline as I am now, but it's even better for Yuta, who was casually swatting away the swarm with his pink cursed energy. And oh bruh, the cursed energy pulse thing he did in the field? Peak. I also really love the addition of the blind swordsman kind of thing, and the one-to-one bit on the kiss was very cool. Really didn't need to pause for that long, but it was executed very well. Now, before the episode came out, a lot of the leakers were kind of yapping about how Yuta got his ass kicked more than in the manga, but honestly, what that really meant was just that everybody in Sendai Colony got a massive upscale, and it was much needed. Sorcerers like Uro, for example, kind of get put on that top tier, Heian-era sorcerer level through narrative standpoints only, and not so much visual evidence, but after seeing all of their upscales, like agenda be damned, I don't care if Yuta has to get his ass beat a little bit more, to see all of these sorcerers actually live up to their reputations of being proper top tiers, right? It's a great kind of addition just to make them all that much stronger. I like it. Speaking of Uro though, her pull-up was so dope. I love Yuta's genuinely confused expression and little twitch as like sky manipulation seems to grab him, and 2D Yuta gotta be a top 5 funniest frame this season. Almost got me as good as Crackhead Megami. In terms of sound design, sky manipulation and Granite Blast are top tier in this episode, and just in JJK as a whole, I feel like the sound effects have never been better than they are here. The little whoop sound her technique made when blasting Yuta into Narnia is so satisfying. Her entire first encounter and conversation with Yuta happens all together in the same location in the manga, but here, Yuta's getting pelted all over the shop and wait, is that a One Piece reference? The real kicker is how their heart-to-heart about the way in which you choose to live your life was changed from outside, just in the middle of the city, to in a museum that actually depicts all sorts of things related to these characters, such as the Heian era that Uro comes from and a Fujiwara general behind Yuta. Understandably, Uro reacts with pure frustration when Yuta, someone who reminds her of the Fujiwara clan who denied her an identity in the first place, starts lecturing her about how she's chosen to live. Her frustration is also just way more visceral in the anime. She had Yuta by the throat and launched him across the whole town, and oh my god, that weird mystical music has my legs shaking every time it plays. I can't play it because of copyright, but you know what I mean, right? It goes like bum bum bum. Yeah, but you get me, bruv, right? You know what I mean. Anyway, Ryu Ishiguri decides to interrupt their fight and shoot Yuta down with a fat granite blasto. In fact, the blast was so fat, Yuta decided Ryu actually needed to be taken out first, so that the poor civilians weren't at risk of being, accidentally evaporated. And then we get the most insane and slightly controversial movement scene of the whole episode. The music turns up, Yuta starts running, and far off in the background you see a massive blurry array of granite blasts being launched from a rooftop, which I thought was actually much cooler than just showing Ryu firing them. But I say this is controversial because opinions are kind of split on this sequence. I immediately fell in love with this because I have a weird soft spot for the whole CG aesthetic, although I totally understand why this might not be everyone's cup of tea. Regardless of how the background and debris looks though, there's no denying the movement is unreal. Now, Ryu and Yuta's confrontation on the roof is probably the only part of the episode I genuinely think they could have done better, and it's a part that I suspect wasn't actually finished. But, overall, it's not something I care about because the rest of the episode makes up for it 10 times over. See, I love this page of Yuta and Ryu going hand to hand on the rooftop, and I was really looking forward to seeing Mappa's take on it. But instead, they kind of just flashed the panels on screen for a picosecond each and got on with their day. Which is fine, because the anime only fights and hand to hand stuff that goes down later on, like I said, make up for it 10 times over. Still though, that doesn't change the fact I didn't think this moment was anything worth writing home about. I also noticed that a lot of dialogue was cut, such as Ryu thinking about how Yuta's cursed energy makes it feel like he's punching a water tank, and the bit where Ryu glazes Yuta's reserves and says his output isn't really anything ridiculous. However, I think this was mostly a very smart choice from Mappa, because the lines they removed just weren't necessary to spend time saying out loud when you can show them instead. That's why I don't think Sendai Colony felt rushed. It matched the pace of the manga pretty much 1-to-1, and managed to fit in 2 crazy long anime-only fight scenes. I mean, we already know that Yuta's huge cursed energy makes him a tank. We don't need to drag out the episode by explaining it again when we could be extending the actual fights. And speaking of anime-only extensions, holy moly, Ryu vs Yuta was crazy. So crazy that I actually can't talk about everything because it would take forever, so here were the highlights. In the manga, Yuta just blocks a granite blast with his hand. He still does this later on when they adapt the panel of him punching into Ryu's granite blast, but the original was changed ever so slightly to where he has a normal pipe that he imbued with cursed energy to make a cursed tool, and he used that to block granite blast. His hand still got burned initially, which led to him sukuna-ing his way up this dome thing and then healing it with RCT, but the scene is fundamentally different to the manga, for the better, I think. It's a great callback to not only how Yuta broke his sword in JGK 0, but also how Yuji messed this move up when he tried to use it against Yuta in episode 1 of season 3. Kuroroushi, Uro, and Ryu all got insane anime-only upscales and extensions to their curse techniques, so it's only fair that Yuta did as well. But since he's in base and can't use techniques yet, I didn't think they'd actually find a way to make him do anything special besides strong punch. And I'm so glad I was wrong, because having him grab a random pipe and immediately turn it into a well-refined and strong curse tool, I mean, it was so strong it was able to deflect Ryu's granite blast, which was literally a peak scene, by the way. That was so cool. But yeah, I love the fact that he was able to do that, right? He just picked it up, imbued it with cursed energy, exactly how, Yuji should have done that to the knife, and bam. Great use of Yuta's genius for jujutsu. And speaking of Yuta deflecting Ryu's granite blasts, another highlight of this fight is the anime-only tunnel scene where Ryu's technique finally becomes a lot easier to understand. You see, being able to shoot curse energy isn't actually a curse technique. We've seen the likes of Yuta Gojo and Nanami do this already. Ryu's technique doesn't let him fire cursed energy, it lets him fire and manipulate cursed energy. He can change the concentration, like when he makes those precise little white lasers. He can spin it around like he does later on, and he can fire multiple homing lasers like he did with the bridge. This is exactly why he can still fire a massive granite blast beam after domain expansion. His technique does burn out, but his technique isn't what lets him shoot cursed energy. And I feel like the anime subtitles made that a lot clearer by saying a basic attack, one as simple as, shooting a big beam of granite blast, is easy enough to do without the cursed technique. Firing the big laser is very doable, he just can't control the concentration or manipulate it after domain. Also, Ryu combing his hair even after Yuta threw a whole ass train at him is so cool. Like, I don't know why they decided to make him even cooler than he already was. Moving on though, Bosch. Yuta slammed by a gorgeous thin icebreaker, which was the last straw before Yuta decided to summon Rika and finally lock in. Now this frame right here, along with so many others, shows exactly why this episode worked so well. The one-to-one moments are biblically one-to-one, but then the stuff in between is ridiculously inventive and out of the box, resulting in an episode that has the perfect balance of strict one-to-one and creative freedom. Genuinely, it's perfect. I mean, if it wasn't for leaks and people making up their mind about this episode being rushed before even actually watching it, I doubt I would be seeing that criticism anywhere near as much as I am. Sure, it was 7 chapters in 27 minutes, but they objectively did it, like the evidence is in front of us. Anywho, I think it's about time I yap about my favourite section of the episode. The car park free-for-all fight, the 3-way domain clash, and the final beam struggle. So once base Yuta is done playing around, he summons back Rika and activates his 5-minute timer, which means Rika becomes fully manifested, he can access his cursed techniques, and he can access Rika's storage of cursed energy. Now sure, Mappa extending a fight is definitely nothing new, but a fight extension is not what happened here. They just straight up added an entirely new fight scene between all 3 parties at once, and you know what? I'm so glad they did, because I think it might be my favourite sequence in JJK. It's definitely up there. First of all, insane Uro upscale. She's been moving like Gear 5 Luffy and I love it. But Mappa workers have to genuinely be a different breed because I can't even fathom how they animated this sequence. The coolest thing about this though is that in the manga, once Yuta gets the gauntlet, he doesn't interact with Ryu at all, but in this fight, everyone gets a shot at everyone. Okay, yes, the hand-to-hand stuff is incredible, but this is JJK, that's nothing new. The real kicker is the crazy inventive ways that Mappa made Uro and Ryu use their techniques, especially Uro. Here are the highlights for me. Ryu using Granite Blast to fire quick, less powerful lasers is very cool, but the ring of spinning cursed energy that he traps Yuta in, sort of like a makeshift sumo ring, is cool as hell. Also, having Yuta fight Ryu with the gauntlet makes so much more sense than what he does in the manga, because everyone who read this fight wonders what the hell the point of the gauntlet even was. Like, what does it even do? Here though, we see Yuta tank a Granite Blast with the gauntlet. I mean, he'd spent the whole fight until this point having his hands constantly charred when he blocks the blast. So, using the gauntlet to save himself the need to use reverse curse technique makes so much more sense for why he would choose this weapon in the first place. I feel like this is a perfect and very subtle example of how well Mappa fine-tune and elevate the source material. Uro though, oh boy. At one point, Yuta and Rika surround her, and she literally swipes the sky in a circle to make Rika's punch hit Yuta, and later she manages to pull the exact same move in such a way that Rika ends up punching herself. My favourite bit of extra sauce that they gave her though is when Rika sent Uro crashing towards a building, but she just nonchalantly bends the sky away to create a sort of slide that just flings her back on course. Eventually, they end up standing on a roof, and the sky starts to turn grey. A suspenseful music similar to Sukuna's domain theme creeps in, and Ryu Ishigori starts beating his chest like Gear 5 Luffy. What I didn't notice about this moment at first though, was how Ryu is actually creating shockwaves while doing this that made the building below him crumble away, leaving them space for their domain barriers to manifest, which is a really cool detail. The actual execution of the iconic 3-way panel is peak. I don't even know what you want me to say about it. Every category, music, voice acting, visuals, I don't know what to say. It was just perfect. There really isn't anything more I can add to that. It's not until both the returned Kuroroushi and Uro were put to sleep after this moment, though, that we got what might be my favourite moment in the anime. And for the record, my previous favourite moment was Yuta's love beam in JJK 0. Now, I've already over-explained the awesomely wholesome interaction between Yuta and Ryu enough in this video, so I won't dwell on it, but oh, it's peak. I mean, you'll see it in the reaction segment in a second, but Orion and I immediately clocked the start of Aizo creeping in, and holy f***, I've never had chills like that watching this show before. The way the beat drops on one of the most visually striking pieces of art in the series, like the way Ryu's voice actor absolutely bellowed the final granite blast as Yuta ran towards him. Oh my god, I've lost count of how many times I've rewatched that moment. The final portion of the fight was actually a lot easier to follow than in the manga as well. And I think that's mainly thanks to seeing a physical timer. Rika went back to partial manifestation, got clapped by Ryu, but then he turned to see that Yuta still had more to give him even after all of that. And at this point, we're down to no techniques, no granite blast, no shikigami, they just revert to type, pure hands. Throw in some visuals of dessert being eaten and a direct one-to-one panel before the music reaches its climax, and then Yuta ends the fight with his genius granite blast redirection, and you have yourself what is the best fight in JJK, undeniably, like, so far. I love this shot of Yuta smiling as Ryu collapses on the floor because it really puts into perspective how unreal what Yuta did here actually is. In a single day, he wiped out the entire game's most dangerous colony. He walked away with 190 points that he just stole from a literal Heian era sorcerer and the highest output sorcerer in history. Absolute madness, like what? See, you guys get it all wrong. You think I glaze Sendai because I'm a Yuta glazer, but that's not right at all. In fact, it's the other way round. I read Sendai Colony, and that's what made me a Yuta glazer. But yeah, for the record, this video was delayed so long because I got cripplingly ill over the weekend, but also because I was actually just speechless. Like, I have written and deleted this nearly 5k word script 3 times before I was happy with it. But I'll cut the yap short here and just play the segment of me and Orion reacting to the episode. So, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching so far, and yeah, fat headphone warning because we scream a lot. Enjoy. Oh my god.
Oh my god!
What the fuck is that? Hello? Oh what? My god! The upscale is insane! Kuroroushi! Okay!
He's moving like Jogo, bro. I like that they're buffing Kuroroushi because he's a special grade. Like, he can talk. He should be, like, logically.
Wait, he's gonna do it. Yes, 1-to-1 as well! Oh my god.
Okay.
Alright, we get it. Alright, chill. Chill, we get it. The music!
Oh, the music!
It's the music! Oh!
Granite!
Yo!
Dude, we were saying in Shibuya, like, what the fuck is Ryu gonna look like?
Oh my god, bro. It's so 1-to-1 in the 1-to-1 moments as well.
God, these shots are insane.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, it's from the distance! That's so sick!
Oh my day, bro. Bro, people were fucking doom posting over this, by the way.
Yeah, but I mean, they would do that anyway. Oh my god, he's cool. That shit fell on his head! Oh my god, bro.
Oh, I can't wait. Dude, I actually have to do a whole breakdown for this episode. Like,
yeah,
bar for bar.
That's what I mean. Like,
he turned into like a cursed tool, kind of like
he did! That's cool. Oh, and he's the... Oh my god, they got inventive.
This is you. This is completely new dialogue. Bro, he's like making it even fucking stronger.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Bro.
Nah. Oh, that's a cool effect. Okay.
Oh, she's like falling down because she can't maintain her fucking technique. That's such a cool detail.
Oh my god.
Wait. This is switched completely.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I'm pissed about the way the leakers were talking about this episode. I'm real pissed about it because...
Dude! What's that? Like, this
my
buff is insane because he's fighting with 2 of them.
Yeah, but you know what though? If they're gonna make Kuroroushi and Ryu look like that, they had to give us something.
Okay, Rika upskill.
Oh my god. Oh my god, do you see how she like... Did you see how she dashed that? Oh, that's so cool.
And punch him.
Muri. Oh, he sounds so cool. I forgot he even uses that. Nah, like... Oh my god, that's so cool. I actually have so much to say, but I haven't taken a single note. Nothing.
Me neither.
I've written nothing.
Oh, shut up.
Oh my god! It's so peak! Oh my god, it's nearly over. Oh, so peak. It's so peak. Nah, it's the best episode they've ever made, bro. I'm sorry. Oh my god, bro. That choice of ISO here is so good. Oh, the way he says it is so cool. Yep, the icebreaker. And it's done.
Oh, it didn't work. Oh, it didn't work. He didn't get it in time.
Rika's gone back. His VA.
So good.
His VA is so good, dude. This song is so perfect.
Okay, classic like Hajime Ippo.
Yeah. Oh!
Bro, genuinely, like, watching this episode.
Oh.
It's so big.
No, it's actually so good. I can't even fathom what the final arc of this series is going to look like animated.
Me neither. Dude, I love their dynamic, man.
It's like, they're just so good.
Oh, we're gonna see Big Daddy.
We're gonna see Big Boss Man. And then we're gonna see... Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, hello.
Charles. Kashimo.
That was...
No,
that was Naoya. Yo, he's placing the prison realm.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god, bro.
Takaba.
To be considered... Oh my god.
I can't.